Okay, I'm going to call to order the special Freeman's meeting for Monday, April 3rd, 2017. Clerk Deb Patrick, would you please read the call to meeting and the warning to the electors?
And everything else. All persons legally qualified to vote in meetings of the City of Groton are hereby notified and warned to assemble in public meeting at the council chambers in the Municipal Building, 295 Meridian Street, Groton, Connecticut, on Monday, April 3rd, 2017, at 7:00 p.m. prevailing time, for the purpose of acting upon the following matter: a resolution appropriating $42,097,000 for water treatment facility improvements and authorizing $42,097,000 in bonds of the city to meet said appropriation, and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose shall be amended by increasing each of the appropriation and bond authorization therein to $54 million. To receive a communication from the Mayor and Council with respect to the proposed resolution entitled, "A Resolution Appropriating $42,097,000 for water treatment facility improvements and authorizing $42,097,000 bonds of the city to meet said appropriation, and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose shall be amended by increasing each of the appropriation and bond authorization therein to $54 million. To consider and act upon a resolution entitled, "A Resolution Appropriating $42,097,000 for water treatment facility improvements and authorizing $42,097,000 in bonds of the city to meet said appropriation, and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose shall be amended by increasing each of the appropriation and bond authorization therein to $54 million. Or to take action on any other business which may legally come before said meeting." The warning to electors. In accordance with Section 7-6 of the General Statutes of the State of Connecticut as amended, only an elector of the City of Groton or a citizen of the United States of the age of 18 years or more, who jointly or severally is liable to the city for taxes assessed against him or her on an assessment of not less than $1,000 on the last completed grand list of the city, or who would be so liable if not entitled to an exemption as a blind person, a veteran, a widow, or parent of a veteran, would be entitled to vote at this meeting. Dated at Groton, Connecticut, this 27th day of March 2017, by the Mayor, Marion Galbraith.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to read the resolution. We'll need somebody to move it and second it, and then we're going to have a brief presentation. This will not be a question and answer period since we had a public hearing or an information session on this, but we will have a presentation and then we'll conduct the vote.
You actually ask for a motion from the floor to move and second it.
Well, I thought I'd read it though.
Yeah, you're going
first.
to read it,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. So Resolution R-17-4-62, therefore be it resolved that the electors and qualified citizens approve appropriating $42,097,000 for the water treatment facility improvements and authorizing $42,097,000 in bonds of the city to meet said appropriation, and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose shall be amended by increasing each of the appropriation and bond authorization therein to $54 million. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Okay. Rick, are you doing the presentation? Okay.
Is this on?
No, turn it back on, please.
Good evening, everybody, and thanks for the turnout. So I just wanted to go over a couple facts. I remember watching Dragnet with my dad. It was nothing but the facts. So just a few facts. The low bidder for this project was R.H. White Construction Company, and the cost was the low bid was $43.9 million. All the other bids were within 5% of the low bid. The cost for engineering management during construction is still at $4.2 million. The contingency for the project at about 10% is $5.9 million. That brings it up to the $54 million. The project is a low-interest loan through the State Revolving Loan Fund, through the state. The expenses for the project are borne by all the ratepayers. City residents, tonight, Freeman, vote on the project because the city of Groton owns Groton Utilities. Groton Utilities employees are all City of Groton employees. So I just want to review some of the main project components. And what I'd like to do is Groton Utilities staff, who are also City of Groton employees, are here on their own time, their own dime tonight. So I'd like to have them just run through some of the major components of the project. So I think Paul?
My name is Paul. I'm the work leader for the water plant, and I'm going to talk about the electrical work. The electrical work includes converting the water treatment plant and the appurtenant structures to a modern voltage capable which use upgraded electrical system, replacing the outdated electrical control equipment and metering, and replacing emergency service generators at an estimated cost of $3.5 million. Mike?
I'm Mike Edmond. I'm a senior operator at the plant, also a mechanic. Mechanical work includes replacing 9 major pumps and motors and various minor pumping systems, replacing all major piping in the plant and buried water mains, replacing all inoperable valves, and installing metering and control systems. The approximate cost is $6 million for the mechanical.
Good evening. I'm Bill Rossi. I'm a senior operator at the plant, also a proud holder of Red Dot. And I'm going to talk about a couple of components here, the energy conservation and the elevated water storage. So the energy conservation of the projects includes repair to building walls, installing an energy wrap of all buildings, replacement of energy inefficient windows and doors, and replacing roofing material. The modifications also include obtaining geothermal energy from the reservoir through heat exchange and the improved energy conservation measures to the HVAC system. During the project, we will be applying also for conservation rebates if they are available, and the estimated cost of this will be about $6 million. Now, as far as the energy, the elevated water storage at the water treatment plant is an integral part of the project. Presently, we have no elevated water storage and minimal water in the storage for emergencies and for fire protection. These two 1 million gallon standpipes will increase storage immensely. The elevated storage will also be used for maintaining all filter systems. Elevated storage will allow for plant shutdowns where we can still pump water to our customers while the plant is being maintained, which is something we cannot do today. In fact, the water treatment plant will be shut down this weekend on Saturday for 2 to 4 hours for maintenance. And the cost of the elevated water storage will be $4 million.
I'm Steve Dietrich. I'm the water quality manager at the water laboratory. I'm going to talk about water quality improvements. There'll be 4 measures taken for improvement to water quality treatment at the water plant. Clarification for removal of particles and inorganic contaminants and algae. Filtration for final removal of particles and absorption of organic contaminants. Manganese adsorption for removal of iron and manganese, and mixing and aeration for further removal of organic contaminants known as trihalomethanes. All these systems will be linked to process control through a computerized system known as SCADA. And the cost for this portion of the project would be $26 million.
Good evening, Ray Valentini, Operations Manager. There were some questions on the installation of new pipe out in the field, in the roads itself. So that presentation was due to, we have a running total, how we run our water mains, and for system improvements. So that is something that will be done at a later time. We're engineering it, and it will be as going. It's an ongoing process. So if that's what that long bond fund, non-bonded capital project was for. So I know there were questions on that.
Okay, that concludes our presentation. We're going to move to the vote. We have, in order to vote, you need to have a red dot. I have a counter here, Mark Whalen, and what is our count right now?
47.
47 people. Okay, so it shouldn't be more than 47. And
I also need to find out if anyone else would like to speak from the public.
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, hold on one second. Is there anyone who wishes to speak from the public?
Kevin Trejo, 536 Shanticosset Road. I actually am in support of the project, but I would like some clarification on the $54 million number. Is it going to be a straight $54 million we're going to bond on it, or are we going to bond up to $54 million in case we have money to save? We're not paying 50.
So the way that this works is that this is a loan from the state. So we don't start paying until 3 years after the project, so it will only be on what we've actually spent.
Okay, that's what I wanted. Thank you.
Yes?
I'm Joshua Trask, 209 Shanticosset Parkway. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. It is a very large expenditure, as most of you probably know, but after seeing the presentation that these gentlemen put on a few weeks back, especially talking to some of the mechanical operators, it's very necessary that we do this. So basically, what I'd like to say for myself, and I actually speak for all of the Republicans, for the Groton City Republicans who are running, we all support this project. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, now we'll move to the vote. We have 47 people. Ron, would you be a counter also? So Ron and Mark, if you would count. All in favor of the motion, please signify by raising your hand. Remember, you have to have a red dot. Don't forget to count yourselves in your vote.
I have 45. I have 47.
Uh-oh. This happens every time. Well, it passes anyway. So, I mean, all those opposed, we can always do the math. Abstaining. Okay. Then the motion is carried. We have no other business before the body, so we need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, and thank you for coming out tonight.